Hey guys, I'm your host Angel,
Hey guys, I'm your host Paige.
and this is the Dear Little Me podcast where we talk to you guys every week about Demi Lovato. This is just your friendly beginning of the episode reminder to listen to us over on Spotify if you can. Helps us out so much. You can watch us on YouTube and then listen to us on Spotify. Do it at the same time, however you choose to. But we are so happy to have you guys here watching, listening, whatever you're doing. This week's episode is going to be very fun because we are talking about
Jutes,
Jutes.
aka Demi and Jutes. And we wanted to do a disclaimer that the pretty much the only reason that we're doing this episode dedicated just all around their relationship is because we really don't have anything else to talk about this week, and we figured it would just be kind of a light-hearted, fun topic to talk about because I just feel like I don't know, there's a lot that we don't really know about the relationship, obviously. I just said to Angel, I was like, did you see how Demi tattooed Jutes? And she had no idea. So I feel like it'd be fun to have this conversation. Obviously, we mean no harm. We're not trying to judge the relationship. But we just wanted to talk on it because Valentine's Day is coming up and we don't have anything else to talk about. So Demi, give us some content, or you guys can give us content ideas, things that you guys want us to talk about, like throwback topics. Yeah, so I think we're going to get right into it. The first thing that really started or gave us the idea for this episode was I was on Twitter, and on my timeline, I was seeing some talk of a rumored Demi and Jutes collab. Now, this is from a Demi insider, and as far as I'm concerned, I just feel like nobody has the inside scoop. I've been on Twitter long enough to see these accounts pop up and they're never right. There's this one specific one I remember in the back in the Tell Me You Love Me era that would pop up, and it
Yeah.
was a boy behind it, and he made me so mad because everything he said was it was basically a psychic that is telling the future, but in the most basic way, like things that we knew were going to be coming, and it wasn't anything we didn't already know. But I'm pretty sure he's still around. I don't know what his account is now. It's been banned a couple of times, but if you guys know who I'm talking about, oh my God, he used to make me so mad.
Yeah, no, it literally, and he would get so full of himself when it his prediction came true, and it's we all saw
Yeah.
it coming.
I know. It's anybody could have said that, and or things that were late too. And I've had I think I called him out one time back in the day when I was when I had the time, to
Yeah.
stir stuff up back then. But yeah, we went at it, and I don't remember the interaction too much, but I remember it felt good to be no one's buying into your shit. No one believes a word you're saying. So,
Yeah.
um, but let me see. So, let's see what we have here. I screenshotted it, but now I gotta find them. Um, so, oh, see, I'm looking at this okay. Someone had said if Demi releases a song with Jutes and that just happens to make the album or become a single, I will truly believe she does not take her art seriously anymore. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think that that's kind of I don't know. I mean, I don't get where they're coming. I don't even want to say that because I feel what do you mean not that Demi doesn't take their art seriously just because of who they collab with? I mean, I feel like people said the same thing about people weren't happy when Demi collabed with Jeezy because of his past or whatever. But
Yeah, do you think it has to do with the fact that people just don't want Demi to mix their relationship with their career?
I mean, hasn't that already happened? Like Forever For Me, they wrote together. So
Right, right. And he's written a lot of other songs, right?
yeah. And Forever For
Songs
Me is a
he
lot of people's favorite song on the album. I mean, it's one of mine.
mm,
I have the crew necks that you made from it. That's one of
mhm.
my favorite songs from the album. But I don't feel like because Jutes helped Demi write that, or that Jutes is potentially writing songs with Demi, that's ruining Demi's career. It's just a collab. It's not like they're becoming a band or something together.
Yeah,
Demi is still going to be a single artist. I don't see them
yeah.
becoming a thing, but
I don't even know what their reasoning was behind it, but um So someone had said like Holy Fuck is her best album. Of course, she takes her art seriously, and that person who initially made that tweet said, "No lies there. Love Holy Fuck. Even went to see Demi for the first time this era, but I'm confused because Holy Fuck was not mentioned in that post." Oh, so I don't know why they're referring to that. But then there was this other person, which I've seen this person around on Twitter, and someone said, "I would be embarrassed to even try to promote it or stream it. The other fandoms would have more of a field day than they already have. I would hope Scooter steps in." Do they like I just don't really.
I don't get what the reasoning behind their like hatred for the idea is. I mean, like, yeah, I feel like Demi's had a lot of shitty collabs. I mean, we know that, but like at the end of the day, like it's a collab. Especially if it's
Yeah.
like I feel like it's not that big of a deal if it's like going on like Jute's discography.
But I feel like that would cause more drama because people would, because I saw that someone was comparing him to Max, saying like he's like Max, kind of using Demi for, to promote his music. So I feel like if Demi did, was on his album or whatever the case may be, that a lot of Lovatics who aren't a fan of him would jump to the conclusion of him using Demi for fame, because
Yeah.
I don't know who he was before then,
Yeah, I didn't
before.
either, but I do know he was making music before Demi. The thing with
Right.
Max is that Max didn't start making music until he got in the relationship with Demi, and then that's why people were like, "Oh, you're using Demi because you just all of a sudden started to make music." But Jutes was like an artist before Demi. I think Demi found him like because
Well, yeah, he's obviously a
yeah,
songwriter. I
yeah,
mean, he worked on a lot of other things as other songs, um, but I feel like that's what fans would jump to. I feel like it's just there's always fans that are very like heavily involved in Demi's relationship and what Demi posts or the comments that Demi posts on, whoever they're dating at the time's Instagram, which we're going to get into some of the comments, but I think a lot of people just get upset, but I think you have to also think about like if you're in a relationship, putting aside the fact that like you're say, I mean, obviously Demi's a celebrity, so but if you're in a relationship, you're gonna be wanting to be with your boyfriend. You're gonna be, especially if they're a songwriter and you're, a singer. They
yeah.
obviously write good music together. Um, but like the whole, I think we could jump to the comments thing too, with like the comments that Demi leaves on his posts. A lot of people are like, this is so cringy, like why are you doing this? And it's just weird. But I'm pretty sure if you're in a relationship, like are you guilty of doing that with like your partner?
Like commenting.
Yeah, like even in the past with like past relationships.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone like I mean, I definitely didn't go to, I enjoy seeing you naked on
Yeah.
Instagram posts, but like I mean it's Demi and Demi says crazy shit
Yeah.
sometimes. I mean, that's just but I think like people going to the extent of saying that Jute is like Max is kind of horrible. Like especially like knowing like seeing the documentary and knowing what exactly Max put Demi through and like hearing the song 15 minutes and all that kind of everything about Max, but like saying that like Jutes is the new Max, like I feel like that's just so offensive, not only to Jutes, but like to Demi also, because Demi works so hard on themselves to get out of that toxic relationship and find better for themselves. So I'm sure for Demi to see people comparing someone that they're genuinely happy with to someone that they were not happy with is like a slap in the face. I mean, I would feel that way.
I think a lot of people would say that the reason that they're acting that way or feel that way about him is just because of Demi's dating history. They feel like they put their relationship first before their career. And like I see that to a degree, but also I also just feel like Demi's just obviously at a place like Demi's 30 years old,
Yeah, I was just
it's
about to say that. Like Demi is not a teenager anymore on Disney Channel. Like Demi has two like not like two separate lives basically, like the life that we see that they put out on the internet for the Lovatics and the private life that involves like Jutes and their family and their friends in real life and that kind of thing. And I think everyone just seems to forget that like Demi isn't just a face on social media or a face on tours and like posters and things like that. Like Demi has a life outside of music. And I feel like people think that Demi's whole life needs to revolve around music. And even though that was the case at one point in their life,
Mhm.
like Demi like has talked about plenty of times, like wanting to settle down, get married, start a family. Like Demi as much as we hate to think about it and talk about it, like Demi is probably going to be moving away slowly from music. So like,
At least for a little while, I'm
yeah.
sure that, a family, marriage and family's coming. And I think we have to also remind ourselves, like, if you're feeling like he's like Max, just like think about the fact that their relationship is definitely not as public as Demi and Max's was. Like that was, I feel like, so over the top. I don't know if it's because they had a lot of time on their hands being in quarantine together, or if it's because Max is just a creep and just wanted to post every single second, like every picture, videos going on like Instagram lives. Like Jutes hasn't done that. It seems like they're keeping their relationship more private, which I feel like also gives people the room to feel like they can judge too, because then they can use the like excuse. It's like, well, um, when they do interact, it's like Demi promoting his music. And so then they think like, okay, well then obviously he's using Demi. So I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I
But
feel like
like, it's not like Jutes doesn't promote Demi also. It's like they're not just
yeah,
one-sided. Like Jutes has, I feel like, been to at least 90% of the shows.
yeah.
And Jutes the entire tour was posting how proud he was of Demi and how much the songs like meant to him, like writing them with Demi. So I feel
Yeah.
like he's definitely like, he's not, I don't want to say he's using Demi. I don't want to think he's using Demi. Obviously, we don't
Yeah.
actually know his intention. But from what it seems like, knowing Demi's dating
Mhm.
history, like coming from a person that was there for it,
Yeah.
this is definitely not the worst of the partners. So
No. I think a lot of people are just scarred from the past. I'm trying to see what some of people were talking. Um, okay, a lot of these are in Portuguese and I can't read them, but
as far as comments though, what like was there more than
oh,
just the
so I
ones
think
we
it's from the same person. Um, okay, so this is someone responded to like that initial tweet that I read, and it says Jutes is a great artist. He makes great music. They just want their relationship to be ruined to say we said so without enjoying the relationship journey. Shame on yourself for wanting it to go wrong. I hope they make a song together. Remember that you have helped me analyze your comment. Oh, and get a life, please. I'm not quite sure what that meant. And they said, get off my post with this nonsense. When did I bring up their relationship? I said, what the fuck? I said, wait, this is sorry. I'm trying to read. I said Jutes isn't bringing anything to Demi's career, and if Demi cares to win Grammys like they said they wanted for years, having him on a lead single is not doing it. Oh, okay. Never said Jutes isn't great, but be for real. He's not on Demi's level. So okay, so that and now we kind of understand what they were coming from. They don't want Demi to do music with him as like a lead single because he's a nobody and he's not going to get Demi like a Grammy.
yeah.
So I don't know where they're getting
I mean,
their
if we're pulling from that leg of the window,
yeah.
Demi literally had a collab with Christina Aguilera and it was nominated, but it didn't win a Grammy. Like, so if we're going on that extreme, like Jutes isn't gonna get Demi a Grammy, like Christina Aguilera is very much not a nobody and didn't get
Mhm.
Demi a Grammy. So for like, I mean, I don't think Demi collabs with people thinking like, oh, who's gonna get me a Grammy or who's gonna get me an award of whatever sort. Like, I don't, Demi doesn't think that way. I don't understand.
Clearly, because if Demi did,
Yeah,
then half of the collabs they've done together would probably not have happened
that's what
because
I'm saying. Like, what the hell was the song with the bowling league person?
oh,
Missy, like, what was
it's coming
that?
up on the 1 year anniversary of it. I think I
Yeah,
haven't listened to it since then.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. I just remember it was with someone called the bowling league. I don't.
Yeah,
But like,
bowling something. Yes.
what was that? And like, I feel like
What was that?
yeah, like Debbie's not collabing with artists thinking like this is gonna get me an award or this is gonna be on the radio so popular. Like Demi doesn't give a fuck. We've discussed this so many times.
I know. I
Lovato,
think
like
they
Lovato,
just want Demi to
yeah,
care more. And I feel like Demi's just done caring. I feel
yeah.
like they've tried so hard. I feel like they've had their peak, and I feel like it was during Tell Me Love
Sorry, not
Me.
sorry. Yeah,
Yep, Sorry Not Sorry, Tell Me Love Me era. Even I would even say so much as Heart Attack was kind of on that level as
yeah.
well.
And Cruel
So
Summer, I think too. I think Demi,
every
like,
couple years, every
yeah,
two
every
years it seems.
yeah.
So,
I think it's the I think it has to do with like the pop to rock transition also. We've talked about a little bit, but like a lot of people that like a lot of popularity from artists nowadays is from pop. And
Right.
like yeah, like Demi is rock now and it has always been rock, we discussed that, but like I think Demi knew making the transition that it was going to be a downfall in popularity because pop is
Yes.
like the most popular genre. It's what's played on the radio all the time.
Right.
You hear in the stores when you're walking around. Like I have never, ever, ever heard like a rock and roll band or a rock artist played like in a CVS, but it's always fucking no promises.
Yeah, always. It's always no promises
Yeah.
all the time. But yeah, no, someone had commented on our one of our videos, something along the lines of like, I think we need to wait it out. A lot of rock fans aren't giving Demi a chance because they think it's like a phase and Demi's gonna just trying this out and then they're just gonna go back to like their old style of music. So I think if Demi keeps with this genre and just continues down the path of rock, like they'll have more credibility and people will take them seriously and give them more of a chance than they have. So I feel like yes, Demi's lost a lot of fans, but there's also a lot of room for them to gain a lot of new ones. So they just got to give Demi a chance. So
Yeah.
um
I feel like
yeah,
also because people like the last time Demi did rock, Demi was 16 and on drugs. So I think a lot of people are seeing it as like you said, a phase, like, oh, Demi's not gonna last in this because, like the last time they did rock, they were like at their lowest point, most
yeah.
likely. So but I think I don't see Demi going back to pop. Like,
I feel like I don't think Demi will, at least anytime soon, because I think Demi's here to prove a point and be like, I'm here, I'm here to stay, and this is like what I genuinely love doing. This is where I started, and this is where I feel like my life needs to go, like my career needs to go. Um, and I feel like Demi tends to be the type of person, from what I've seen anyway, to want to prove people wrong. So I think that that's why they're gonna like stick with it too. And I think they just really like this type of music.
yeah, you can
So
see it too, like when Demi's like on stage, like playing the guitar, like you can tell like they're genuinely enjoying themselves.
yeah,
Like, all the new like fashion, like that one outfit. I forgot when Demi posted it on their story, but when they had like the two white like clips in their hair and like the black jumpsuit. I thought that was like a look.
I don't even remember that.
I had to find it. I don't know. Someone
Yeah.
probably on Twitter, but like just like you could even just see like Demi seems so much more comfortable in like their style and like they're more natural in their makeup now that it's like like
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like pop stars need to look more glam than a rock.
Speaking of looks, because this just reminded me, do you think a lot of people are hoping that Demi and Jutes don't work out because do you remember like when Demi was with I almost said Delmer, Wilmer, that they said like Demi dressed like an old lady? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Like
I
they would
do.
say
Yeah,
like
yeah.
so do you think like a lot of people are hoping that they don't work out because I mean there's got to be somebody who's like, okay, well we know that Demi tends to kind of change their style with whoever they're hanging out with or who they're dating. Did Wilmer dress like an old man? I don't know.
He was
But
an old man. So
true, true. Um, so maybe they're like, okay, so maybe if they break up, then Demi's gonna go back to pop. It's like I feel like there's got to be like a fan that's thinking Demi's only doing this rock stuff because she's with somebody who has kind of that vibe. So I'm wondering if that's why
well,
they're
let's break down the timeline then. When did
okay.
Demi that post where Demi said funeral for my pop music?
They
Like
had to have been working together already, but I'm sure that Demi went in there not even knowing who he was, and that's like when they met. But she already had like the idea of doing rock music.
yeah,
So
I'm saying like if Demi like already was in the works of doing rock before meeting Jude, so people can't say that. But if
true,
it happened after they met, then people can use it as leverage of like, okay, yeah, Demi's only doing this because Jude's a
right?
rock songwriter and
Yeah,
whatever. But if Demi was like already like in the works of that, then yeah, no one can say
I
that.
feel like they probably were, but I wonder if anyone's thinking like, because Demi does go through phases. We've seen it with the music, we've seen it with like outfits and trends and stuff. But so I'm wondering if they're thinking like that that he has influenced her to continue to put out rock music. I don't know. I just feel like there's got to be somebody who thinks that. I don't know. It just crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Just with the whole style thing, because a lot of people do say that, Demi's always like Demi style's always based off of who they're friends with in that moment, which I feel like we could all relate to, because obviously, like when you're with your friends, I mean, I don't really dress like my friends, but I feel like when your friends,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, there is like a
similar
like
to you.
expectation of like, yeah, like I mean,
Yeah.
especially like when like thinking back to like high school, it's like I don't know about you, but
You-
I tried so hard in high school.
Yes.
Yeah.
With oh my God, I remember when I was like in high school, um, well, specifically sixth grade, I feel like that's when it really started. Everyone had like their polo shirts from like Hollister, and oh my God, I remember having this yellow one. No, that was in eighth grade. So that
When
trend.
Victoria's Secret like pink became the middle school girl
Oh,
thing,
like
I like
yoga pants.
yes.
Oh my God, that was
Dog.
such a or is that back yet? Because that was really the vibe, because I really just hate wearing jeans and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Uh, so yeah, I feel like we could all, well,
Yeah.
not all. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, I have my own style, like no one's gonna influence me to dress a certain way, and I think that's great. But just from like
I
Demi,
don't think anyone specifically influenced Demi though. I think it was
yeah.
like because doesn't Demi literally get styled every time they go out? Like Demi doesn't pick out their own clothes, I feel like. Because every
I
time
don't,
Demi posts a like story of herself, it's always like style by makeup.
yeah.
So it's like Demi doesn't do their own makeup or their
Well,
own.
sometimes Demi does, because Demi makes sure that we know makeup by me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, it
Yeah.
doesn't really look like Demi's like wearing, it doesn't look any different to me. I would love to like see Demi do a makeup routine.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Imagine.
Did you see, speaking of like, I don't know, not that you were talking about a vlog specifically, but a throwback, even though this has nothing to do with Demi and Jutes. It's been 15 years since
What?
Demi and Selena's first YouTube vlog.
15.
Yeah. Yeah,
That is
it was like
disgusting.
yesterday or 2 days ago. It was like today marks 15 years since Demi and Selena uploaded their first like YouTube vlog. I was like, I wanted to throw up. I was like,
We
there's
need to react to those.
we should.
Oh my God, write it down. Where's my pen? We're gonna forget. We were just talking about coming up with ideas because like we're lost, but that is a good one. Let us know if you guys would like to see that.
Oh my gosh, I miss those days. I remember
You,
so
you
vividly.
were like 7.
I was. I had access.
You remember those days?
I remember the day Demi turned 16, or like after, like the day after, they uploaded a vlog and it was all about them turning 16, and people like Demi was like answering questions, and someone was like, how does it feel to be 16? And Demi was like, oh, not much different than 15. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was just
So you were like 6 or 7.
yeah.
That is crazy. Wow, 15 years. I feel so old. That makes me so sad. Oh my God, I don't even want to be reminded. Don't tell me this stuff anymore. I don't need to know like dates of anything, because it's just so depressing for
Well, it
me.
just hit like I think 18 years since the first High School Musical.
Oh my God. I need to like breathe, because it just makes me so anxious. I hate how fast time goes.
Might as well start digging our grave now.
Literally, because, well, I gotta say, I feel like 2022 flew by, but January of so far this month, I feel like has dragged.
I feel
It
like
was like the
every
longest
January
month.
drags because everyone's like so excited for the new year and whatever. But I feel like January is always like 7 months long, and then it like is October, like nothing happened.
Yeah. Um, but I wanted to ask you for our Dear Little Me segment. You've told us before that your favorite relationship is of
Dilmer,
Demi's.
Dilmer.
Sorry. Say, okay, wait, let me just rephrase. Let me rephrase this. Okay. You've told us before that your favorite relationship of Demi's is.
Unfortunately, will
So
ashamed, guys.
we've talked about this before, and it shocks me every time that this has been your favorite. I want to know why it was your favorite. Like, what was your favorite, like, thing about it? And how you feel now about it that 29 is released, and we have more of an insight of how Demi's, feels about that relationship now. So take it away.
All right, yeah, Inside Angel's Brain, let's go. Okay, so when Dilmer first became a thing, I was an impressionable preteen. So I think well, if Demi was 18, I was like 11. So yeah. So I don't know. It just seemed, and that was like Demi's longest lasting relationship, especially like I first became a Lovatic when Demi and Wilmer like first became a thing. So like they were like, I mean, besides like seeing Demi and Joe with like Camp Rock days, like I never like saw Demi in a relationship other than like acting wise, like on TV. So I just thought like Demi and Wilmer, they were like the first relationship I saw like out off camera, like realistic, like on Instagram and like in videos of like cute little montages people would make like Dilmer Stan accounts. And like I just thought it was so cute. And they were together for 5-6 years. So I was like, oh my God, they're like so happy together. They're gonna get married and have babies, you know? And Wilmer's not a bad looking guy. So I was like, cool. I didn't know the huge age gap. I did not know that Wilmer was over a decade older than Demi at the time. Because I mean, he doesn't really look that much. Now he does, but back then they didn't look that much different in age. So yeah, he was my favorite because they were together the longest, and I was an impressionable preteen that didn't know any better. But now that I know what the real deal was with Dilmer, obviously.
Dilmer.
Yeah.
It's like a southern twist to it, a little southern.
Yeah.
Dilmer.
Obviously, my opinion has changed since.
Yeah. Did it change when the song came out, or do you because I can't remember when we talked about it I'll link it down below, hopefully I remember, of us ranking Demi's like past lovers. I can't remember, did you say that you were still like that still was your favorite relationship, or do you feel like it changed before 29 came out, or was it after your
Dilmer was my favorite up until 29 came out. Yeah.
Okay. So because you got like to see what the insight of like what Demi was thinking and going on in their brain and how they
I literally like I genuinely did not, I didn't do like my research. I just saw Demi Wilmer together, like all these edits people would make. I did not know that there was a 12-year age gap and that Wilmer basically preyed on Demi the entire time, like before Demi was 18, which is disgusting. I am fully aware of that now.
Yes.
But yeah, like I don't know. Like I said, like they were together for 6 fucking years. Like that seems like a fairy tale in young Angel's head. And that was like Demi was the only artist that I stand for like so long. So I didn't see other like celebrity couples or like other famous relationships or whatever. So I don't know. I just thought it was like that was like the relationship of the celebrity world.
Do you remember when you found out that they broke up? Like, do you remember the post they posted?
Yes, I do. The Notes app.
Yeah.
Fucking explanation.
I wonder if we could find it.
A mutual. You probably Google like Demi.
Yeah, I'm gonna
breakup post.
Demi and Wilmer breakup post. Do you remember where you were?
In my room. It's pretty. I cried. I definitely cried.
I found it.
I knew you would. It's all definitely on Google. Can you read
it? After almost 6 loving and wonderful years together, we have decided to end our relationship. This was an incredibly difficult decision for both of us, but we have realized more than anything that we are better as best friends. We will always be supportive of one another. Thank you to everyone who has offered us kindness and support over the years. With only love, Wilmer and Demi.
Okay, so see, obviously now that we know that's bullshit because it wasn't. I feel like, do you think that like, because obviously Demi and Wilmer didn't write that together, like it was definitely like a PR thing, like because it's like you publicize your relationship, so now you have to publicize the breakup because everyone's gonna question what the fuck happened.
Yes,
but like, I don't know. I want to. I'm so nosy, and like I know we're never gonna find out, but like I want to know like the real like.
Well, didn't Demi say like that Wilmer's like you need to be like learn to be single or be happy on your own? Or I don't even know.
I know like the whole like what led up to the breakup is like Demi was talking about wanting to settle down and have kids, and Wilmer was like, no, I don't want to do that. And then Demi was upset because like they were like, oh, I've said it from the beginning that my intention is to get married and have kids. But I think it was really fucked up that like Wilmer knew all along that Demi wanted to settle down and have kids, and they were together for 6 years, and Wilmer was like, no. But then like as soon as Wilmer got out of that relationship, went and got married and
right,
like
Yes. Yeah, it was very strange. So I feel like there's a lot that we don't know. Obviously, we'll never know everything. But I feel like it would be, yeah, it'd be interesting to know. I guess it doesn't really matter now because clearly Demi's like, okay, I see what's wrong, like with
Yeah.
that whole relationship. But looking back, it's like we'll always be supportive of like one another. I
Yeah.
want to know what was going on in Wilmer's head.
Well, I'm saying, like, I cried reading that post because I thought it was genuine. I'm like, oh, they're better off as best friends.
After 6 years, like you we're better off as best friends. I
I
don't
don't
know.
even think I saw a single like post of them together as best friends after that either.
No,
Like,
but you remember they did the Instagram like live together during quarantine, I think it was.
yeah,
I'll have to go back and see. I feel like he always gave like flirty vibes. Like even in the documentary, like I feel like he was like kind of like touchy-feely, like flirting with Demi. Just knew he had this like power over Demi. You could see, obviously, Demi was vocal about it in that did I say podcast?
you
I
said
think
documentary. Yeah,
I did.
yeah.
Okay. Documentary. That in Simply Complicated that she would always love Wilmer, and so I think he took advantage of that, and I think that he also took advantage of the fact that that's how Demi felt in the beginning. It was like, okay, I have this power over this, basically this child,
Yeah.
and it's sick, it's gross. So I'm glad that Demi exposed him. I've been wanting to watch that '90s show, but I'm now looking forward to him like popping up
Isn't it
on
that
it.
70s show?
There's the new show that came out that
There's
90s
a
show.
new one that he's in?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's based in the '90s and it's like
I know he was on that 70s
fast.
show, but he's on that
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he's on it. Yep, you have to check it out. Since you're such a big fan. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Gotta go back
Um,
to my roots with Dumber. Okay.
so I want to know what your highs and lows are for this week.
All right. Well, my low, um, it's just gonna be like I feel like a broken fucking record at this point.
Me
Adulting
too.
is hard. Like that's just my low.
That's a good thing though, that you can't think of one, like a new one every week.
Yeah, it's just this like I mean, as like once I moved here and like moving out of the house on my own, moving out of state, like that's just been like a big change for me. And like I am happy with my decision, but it's just come with a lot of stress that I don't think I was ready for.
Hmm.
Like paying like bills and like living with my boyfriend is obviously a huge change.
Yeah.
So not that it's like a low, it's just stressful.
Yeah. It's an
But my high,
adjustment.
yeah, my high is that I started going to a support group. I went today. It's every
Was it
Tuesday.
your first meeting?
I went like once before, but it was like a little while ago, so it was
Yeah.
like the first time going back. And it's very helpful. Everything with like therapy. I think I talked about therapy last episode. It's like
Yeah.
not working out because insurance is a bitch.
Oh,
But I found the support group, which is helpful. So I'm going to that every week, and it's like kind of my replacement for therapy for now.
that's good.
Yeah.
Good. Um, so my low is Ren was sick. You guys don't know who Ren is. Ren's my daughter. Ren was sick. She's feeling much better now. She was just saying hi to Angel before we started recording. Um, so it's always just really tough seeing your child sick. So that was hard. But um, so my high is that tomorrow I have a big launch. It's the 9-year anniversary of Lovatic wear. Oh my
You
God,
old
9 years.
woman. Might as well. You know what they do in like in elementary school, the like 100th day of school where they make the kids dress up as grandmas? You should
Wear Lovatic wear dressed as a grandma.
yeah. Go
Um,
live with your granny wig.
I just can't believe it. So we're celebrating with like a big launch. I guess it's kind of big. There's a lot of, eh, not like an overwhelming amount of new products, but if you're interested in seeing that, then check out Lovatic Wear on Instagram, all the posts I have. So I'm super excited for that. A little nervous because I never know how launches are gonna go, but from basing it off of like the comments and the responses that I got with the new merch that's coming out, I have I'm hopeful that it'll do well. So yeah,
Period.
that's my high and low of the week. But I think that is it for us, you guys. I hope that you loved this episode. And if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, go and follow us over on Spotify, give us a listen over there, like Angel had mentioned in the beginning. It helps us out so much. And we always appreciate your comments and your support every single week, and everybody who tunes in religiously. It means so much to us. So, with that being said,
Thank you for tuning in for your weekly dose of Demi.
we'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.